So, Adam, we have some shows we got to determine on who is holding our new predictions championship
That's true.
belt. And you know what? I think it's very simple because on that Friday night, the champ is still here.
Yeah.
One.
Ring of Honor,
One.
whatever.
One. And so now we're going to move on to Takeover. Oh, so the champ is still here for Takeover.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, right here.
I mean,
That's two. And then we have the G1 block. Oh, right, the champ is still
that's
here.
great.
I am going to sweep all 5 nights.
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to interrupt you right then and there because at Summerfest, the champ is over here, finally. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm never dropping this belt. It's never going anyplace else.
G1 block finals. The champ.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of As the Buckle Turns. I'm Adam.
I'm Tim, and dude, the spike for me when I'm just saying, and the champ is back over here is like it spikes.
Dude, turn down your speaker audio then, so I'm not showing up on your mic that much.
I think I forgot. Yeah, I forgot to put my mic levels down.
Oh, okay.
Beforehand.
Well, put the mic back to where it's supposed to be then.
Oh, it's better. The levels are down small again, but it's
good.
But it should be. It's not like last week we had a triple boost me at the
end.
At
the very end of the episode, because things don't go wrong around here. Even if they do, we continue on because we don't care.
I don't know what happened.
I don't get it either. Anyway, we have a whole lot of show to go over. In fact, actually, the only show that we're not going over is Ring of Honor.
Yes. I haven't even got a chance to watch the show.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is right. I went 3 shows out of 5 straight before dropping the belt to SummerSlam to Adam.
And then you pick it up one more time.
Okay. I have to tell you this. I got to tell you the story here because we were all expecting Okada to be in the block finals, and not the block finals, in the finals of the G1. So you actually had your prediction already in, only to find out on Sunday morning you were wrong. Jay White won that one.
No, Ibushi.
And then Ibushi was the winner of the other block. Okay, Ibushi won there, and then it was Jay White had already won that one. You had Okada down.
Our original picks, for me anyway, it was Okada and Moxley winning their respective blocks.
And I had Ibushi and Moxley. Of course, I changed that to at one point. So none of us got one of the blocks correct.
No.
And are just predicting who would be in the final blocks.
Right.
But so when we had that knowledge, you went and changed it to Jay White, and I was looking at that on Sunday before SummerSlam. I'm like, damn, Jay White was doing terrible in the beginning of this tournament, and now he's in the finals. They could go that way. I'm like, so I actually switched mine from Ibushi to Jay White, and then SummerSlam starts, and I'm realizing, oh crap, there's a loss there. Okay, that's only 3 matches in Summerfest we disagreed on. You needed one more, and I lose the title. As soon as I lost that belt, I'm like, I already decided, okay, fuck this. I'm changing it. I'm going back to Ibushi because it's the only way I can win this belt back. I don't know if I'm going to, but I've had Ibushi down to win this tournament since the beginning. Like that, I had a feeling he was going to win it.
That was your pick.
But I decided, you know what? I'm going back. And it turns out I was right.
Good on you, man. Good on me. I mean, it was 6 hours between the end of Summerfest?
Yeah.
The slamming of summer?
Yeah, basically by the time you won the belt, officially, you technically won the belt earlier in the night, but the card didn't end.
Right.
Technically. But we knew there. So you had about 6 hours from the end of SummerSlam to the end of the G1 finals at 6:30, I believe it was, our time, when the finals wrapped up, and I was just like, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get over to the awesomeness that was. I mean, let's run down. So you want to go NXT, then SummerSlam, then G1?
Let's get the worst card of the night out of the way.
So SummerSlam it is.
Summerfest it is. Okay, so there's a few good things on this card. I don't know why people on like YouTube who do, like Wrestle Talk, I'm assuming like what's the one that you watch?
Cultaholic? What
4chan?
culture?
4chan? Cultaholic.
Screw the chans.
Yeah.
And Steven Larson?
Yeah, I'm assuming they were all saying probably similar things, that this was a really good card. A really good show. I'm like, I don't know what show they were watching, because I felt this was like a compared to what we've gotten in the past, it is far better. But overall, it felt like a typical this is what I kind of felt was going to happen.
I felt that this was everything played by the WWE paint by the numbers. That's exactly how it worked out. It just felt more organic than other times in the past.
I would not say organic. It did not feel organic to me at all. But I get what you're saying. It felt different from the past, though.
Right.
We got the same stuff we were getting. We got super predictable.
Oh yeah.
Super. And then, but compared to because we got what we've got in the past, yes, it did feel a little bit different. But half the matches I wasn't even paying attention to, because I'm like, I know who's gonna win this one.
Right.
Like one of the matches that should have been like the match of the night, AJ versus Ricochet. I knew in 3 minutes Ricochet was losing, and I was interested to see out of that match because I was losing that match because I had Ricochet to win. Though I will say his walking on Gallows and Anderson to do a Hurricanrana, and the angle they used to show that Hurricanrana was awesome.
Yeah, they did a great job with setting with. Let's go right from the beginning of the card. There were 3. Yes, what?
Just before besides the one we know we're gonna talk about, you know the one that we're hyped on. Pick your weakest match and your best match outside the one we know.
Oh. See, it's so weird. I gotta say that Bayley and Ember Moon was my weakest match. Like, I don't. It just like, it felt like somebody decided that when the women's title needed to be defended on the card, the SmackDown women's title, and nobody knew what to do with it right then and there. So it was like, hey, let's put Ember in this match.
We don't want to put Charlotte in there because the fans will backlash against her being in the title picture again. But when we get to Trish Stratus and Charlotte's match, I'll talk about my feelings on that one. But,
yeah.
And then not only that, you built Ember up for 2 weeks and then had her lose 2 weeks straight going into this, and a few other things that tore her down.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I picked Ember to win that match. We'll just start right here, as well, because we're already talking about it.
All right.
But I was hoping for some kind of, even if she didn't win the title, she won the match because of some kind of just count out, and it was like a legit count. Like Bayley couldn't get into the ring.
Right.
Like she barely missed the ring. Like she couldn't get in. So it showed that Ember was somewhat dominant, and then you could do the rematch at Clash, and then if Bayley's going to retain, she retains, but at least it would build Ember back up. Nope.
I mean, it didn't feel like it was the match that it needed to be. To me, it actually, do you know what it really felt like? It felt like somebody put this match had to become the bathroom break match.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? And here's the thing. And it's absolutely true. You know why? And I told you this before we started recording. This match, I watched it start, and then I look. The next thing you know, I look back because I'm working on my monitor. Oh, Bayley just got the pinfall. I didn't even see. I heard Bailey to belly, and I looked over, and she's pinning her. I had no clue she did it from the second rope into the replay.
Like, it didn't fully make sense what was going on. Why? Yeah. Like,
that wouldn't be the first. It wouldn't be the only time in this show that happens.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, but yeah, I mean, it felt like they wanted to have kind of do something different with SummerSlam by giving us 3 women's matches, which I applaud. So just giving us 2 championship matches, and that's it. But at the same time, you defeated this match by telling us beforehand you really don't care about Ember Moon. She already
that's
went
what
back
it felt
to losing.
like.
She already went back to losing on SmackDown.
Like, it felt like they immediately were like, yeah, hey, all those people who are Ember Moon fans, that was her chance.
Yep. She's
Sorry.
never anyone again. Yeah. And we'll get to some other stuff about Becky Lynch at some point in the night that happened on Raw.
Yeah.
So
I'm actually cool with it.
No, so am I. But I mean, it's like, but what that signifies for the division, though, it's not a good thing. What it meant, what it shows. What was your match of the night outside the one we talked about? We know. Outside of number 6.
It's weird. Like, I really want to say Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon were they stole the show.
That's my match. I mean, I don't agree with
match-wise. That's the match that actually did stand out for me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with the outcome because I swear the best storyline going forward after this match was Shane to win, gets the win, and Kevin just continues what he's been doing, tormenting Shane McMahon to get his job back.
Yeah.
Kind of like what basically Johnny Gargano did to Tommaso Ciampa after he lost his career, and he tormented Tommaso to get the match the first match of their 3 series at WrestleMania weekend over a year ago.
Yep.
It's almost the exact same formula that you just apply it here, and it would have worked. And you could extend Shane on TV more and build up to some Clash of Champions. Owen gets his job back, or wait, not even Hell in a Cell he gets his job back, and that bleeds into Survivor Series when you have an Owens and you have a McMahon team. If McMahon loses, he's out.
He's gone.
So, but yeah, I agree. Like, and it was a fun matchup. It was how Owens was trying to overcome Shane cheating.
Yep.
With Elias there, but not.
By the way, that kind of kills the entire promo that happened earlier in the evening where Elias really did sell Edge's spear quite well.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. We have to talk about that really quickly. Since Edge's retirement, he's never done anything physical.
Nope.
And he did a spear.
I mean, we've said that he's always had, like, a great spear. It's a very safe spear.
Well, no, true, but even after he, years have gone by, he would not do anything physical, and like we said, he is a safe spirit. I think this means he's going to come back for a match? No, I think he's done. He's done.
Yeah, he's done. I mean, at the same time though, his hair still looks amazing.
Yes, but I do think he's gotten to a point where his neck is okay, where he can be physical on certain things like a quick spear. Because he's so safe with his spear, he can come in and do that every so often when he comes to do something, and he can get physical without like we couldn't before.
Right.
I mean, I would love to see him come back for one more match. I'd love to see him get that one more match that he didn't get. And you know who I wanted against?
Who?
I want someone else who didn't get his one more match. Christian. Both back, have him give it to him, and then have him go away.
See, for me, I would have loved to have had a healthy Edge for a number more years. That way, we could have had the Mick Foley hands it off to Edge hands it off to Dean.
Yeah, well, because what Edge was planning on doing, because he had 1 year left on his contract and he had to retire. The plan was they had it worked out. Like Edge was going to, when he dropped the world title, he was going to transition. They were going to do a storyline transition until next year's WrestleMania, where we would go up to with him and Christian tag teaming again. Because he wanted to go out on with a tag team with Christian again after everything he accomplished in his career. By the way, I just found this out on Sheamus's workout channel. He did one with Edge.
Yeah.
Edge has won more championships than anyone in wrestling history.
Yes.
And I was like, he started calculating, and I'm like, yeah, that's correct. Wow. Like all of his titles, I'm like, wow, that's.
I mean, he didn't have any long runs with anything, but he was winning them.
Some of them, yeah, I know what you mean. Like his first run with the Intercontinental Championship and the U.S. title, like those were very short runs.
The first run with the tag titles. Yep. He didn't hold it for very long.
No, I think they did. They held it for, I don't know, but yeah,
they didn't hold it for a year or anything like that.
No. But yeah, the thing is, like, we look at it, like, it isn't like I was surprised on that. But going back to like the Kevin Owens and stuff, and like selling the spear in the pre-show and then coming out, we could have used a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
But this was a fun thing. It was fun, and it was exactly what we needed. But I just wanted one last thing for Shane to screw over Owens, so we could just get more of Owens doing what he was doing. But this time, instead of him attacking Shane, start pulling off what Austin would do. Do the cement in the Corvette angle.
Yeah, just torment him.
Do stuff where he can't, outside the arena, where he can torment Shane and stuff like that. I can't come in there, but look, that's Shane's car.
Oh, okay. Look at Shane's car.
Yeah.
Look at this forklift.
Yeah, or have him steal his car, and then go to a bridge where he runs it off the bridge into the lake.
If they can get away with that.
Well, yeah, I mean you get the permits to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's like a huge, amazing, awesome car. That would have been awesome, but we'll see what they do with it. I'm sure they'll figure out some way to keep his momentum going, but yeah, I agree. I think this was just a standout because it was so fun, and it was just where it placed in the card was right what we needed, that excitement level.
Oh yeah. All right, let's go back to the beginning of the card. Not to the pre-show where we didn't do anything with the pre-show, and the pre-show doesn't count. So
because they had like outside of Drew Gulak and Oney Lorcan, we didn't know those matches were happening until the day of.
Nope.
But I will say this. WWE, please give us a babyface Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, I like it. I actually like it.
Because you don't have to change anything for Alexa Bliss. Just have what she's been doing as a heel, but to other heels.
Yeah.
And the whole Buzz Lightyear thing, and she's just like, I was like, oh. Like, yes, let her geek out, and that's your babyface.
Yeah. She gets to be nerdy, okay?
Yeah, but keep her attitude that she had as a heel as well. Just show that geek side of her a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I was like, because that, I saw that clip, I'm like, oh, that's what I want to see from Alexa Bliss from now on. For the next year, at least a year, I want to see this. Because as a babyface, because it will work so well, and it'll be something different from her, and it'll be fresh.
Well, I mean, in the same way that Becky Lynch's face turn as the man, she's a heel, but she's the heel that everyone wants her to be.
More on that one in a second, because when we get there. But did you watch the Oney Lorcan Drew Gulak match? Okay.
No.
I didn't think so.
I tuned in to actually watch Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross finish the match with Billie Kay, with the Iconics.
If I knew that was a match that was happening, I would have tuned in sooner. But by the way, I just realized I'd never, until yesterday, I didn't know who won that match between Drew Gulak and Oney Lorcan. I figured we got it right, but I didn't, so I couldn't turn it gold, so it's now gold. But yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised. I gotta go back and see if I can find what people thought about the match. I haven't seen, but I'm assuming it was a decent match, but probably not anything about the cruiserweights we need for the cruiserweights. We need something more exciting. But all right, outside of Kevin Owens, when it comes to technicality, our opening matchup with Becky Lynch versus Natalya takes the cake.
Oh yeah, as a technical match, it was beautiful.
And not just technical, it was exciting though.
Yeah, it started.
Which is something.
I still have a problem with Natalya in general.
Yeah, because that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say is that it was exciting and it was a technical match with Natalya in it.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong. I've seen Natalya back in her heyday with Beth Phoenix and all that. I don't know what they did, but she could have these technical matches that were really engaging in the 5 minutes that they would give the divas.
Oh yeah, no, she's an amazing technical wrestler. The problem is they keep putting her into the paint by the numbers WWE matches, and those are not technical matches.
No, so there was one, but this one was actually exciting. I love the how they switched off each other's finishers.
Yep.
I love the fact that how Natalya got the sharpshooter in and kept it on when Becky was under the ropes.
Yes.
And it just added more pressure to it.
Well, I loved it because it showed also at that moment, you're like, oh, the ref is going to break it up because and I was like, wait, no, there's no rope breaks in a submission match. There's no count outs.
Yeah.
You can have the submission happen outside the ring.
I actually think the rules they said the submission has to happen in the ring.
Oh, okay.
Because that's WWE. Oh no. Well, that would be a false count anywhere. A submission counts anywhere match if you do it anywhere else.
Still a submission match.
I know.
But
anyway. And then when Natalya actually broke the hold so she could pull Becky back in, made sense because she was so far under, she couldn't just pick her up and drag her back in. She was bent too much.
Yeah.
She had to break the hold to pull her in. It was a logical reason for her to let go of the hold. We both knew Becky was going to win this match. We knew it.
Yeah, but I mean, the match became so much better because there actually got to be moments where I was like, I mean, they could actually have Becky break here or pass out.
Yeah, but at the same time, they wanted Natalya to be that hometown babyface, but she acted like a heel once she got in the ring.
Yeah, once again, I laughed too because the crowd was not really behind Natalya.
Yeah, and then there was a small portion that wasn't behind Becky either.
No, but the crowd so watching WWE in Toronto is always a weird thing because unlike the Florida crowd, who is extremely vocal about who they like or who they don't like, and they're all kind of in agreement.
And it all depends on if they want to listen to cheer for who WWE wants them to cheer for, or they're going to be like Chicago and cheer for not who they want to.
Yeah,
it flips every single time.
But Toronto, on the other hand, has always been like, what's the troll cheer in this situation? Because we're going to go with that one. And it was like, well, the troll cheer should have been the obvious one, and that's Natalya.
Yeah.
Because she's Canadian, but she's not from Toronto.
Yep.
But then, they decided that Becky was going to be the troll cheer in this one. And I'm like, okay. I mean, technically, Becky's the person that we're supposed to be cheering for in here anyway.
Yeah, but it's the same thing with Kofi Kingston in his matchup.
Yeah.
Oh. So I have comments on that when we get to that matchup. But overall, I mean, this was a good start. It was a good opener.
Yes.
Which was then followed up with our next matchup that lasted 1 minute and 30 seconds. Goldberg versus Dolph Ziggler.
I like what they did.
I loved it. I love the super kicks right out of nowhere to go for a pin count, and it failed. Spear, jackhammer, win.
Yep.
I was actually kind of hoping that when he went for the jackhammer, Dolph would actually out for one more super kick
Yes.
to get a pin and get a 2 count before Goldberg hit another spear jackhammer win. But then we got what we got afterwards that made up for all that.
Yes.
You know, it was Dolph getting beat up.
Dolph getting, 3 more spears?
Yep.
And they're separated, too. Like, that was another good thing about them.
Yeah, and Goldberg leaving and coming back out.
Yes.
So, but we knew Goldberg was going over here. It worked for that. After that, I cannot remember for the life of me what was the next matchup.
AJ Styles versus Ricochet.
Yes.
This is the one that I'm gonna admit something. I went outside for some adult air and I missed because it was right around the second spear of that Dolph got that I just went, all right, well, I know where this segment's going to go for a while. So I just got up and I was like, I'm going to go outside and have some adult fresh air. The late evening adult intoxicating air. It was such a wonderful thing. When I came
the
back
adult
in,
air that can kill you.
when I came back in, Ricochet was already, Ricochet and AJ were already mid-match. And Ricochet was selling the knee injury. And I was like, what the hell happened?
You missed the best move of the night.
Well, I went back and rewound it.
Yeah, because I texted you on Facebook Messenger. I'm like, that angle with the camera, because I missed the first part of her crying. I'm like, that was a cool shot. I was later on, I saw the replay. I saw him walking across. I'm like, what? Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome, too.
But with 3 minutes into the match, after that, I was like, okay, yep, AJ's winning this matchup. I don't care because it's one of my losses. And this is where, ladies and gentlemen, you can't. And sorry for Adam lying last week when he said he was going to put a photo of our brand new championship on there.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I have no recollection of uttering those words at any moment.
He's just a liar. This is the match that started my the fact of where this belt left me for 6 hours.
Yes.
Those 6 hours were torment. I didn't have my Goldie. But yeah,
yes.
I mean, this matchup of the AJ and Ricochet was not bad, but it wasn't what we wanted.
No, we wanted a slightly slower version. I wanted to see the fast-moving AJ, the high-flying AJ, and instead we got. I mean, we still got AJ, but it's like AJ's going through that transition that Jericho did when Jericho started taking away a lot more of the high risk moves that he would do, and he started to do safer and safer moves, and it was just like at first you were like, oh, Chris, I know you could do that stuff, but you're not going to do it. Okay. So that's the kind of match we're going to have from you.
I think for AJ, the reason why this was a more slower paced match was because he's a heel. And Vince seems to think heels can't have high flying move sets. He has to have this maniacal moves. Every so often he can just throw some stuff in because he knows it's part of his arsenal, but he doesn't have it. What they're going for this time with his heel turn with the OC, which I still don't understand why they're called Orange Cassidy or Orange County. Come on.
I mean, why would they name themselves after AEW's newest signee? I don't get it.
I don't know. There's probably gonna be a lawsuit there.
I would expect so.
But because they're doing this more dominant type thing, they're going with this more slower pace. Which yes, AJ can do it because AJ can pull off anything.
Oh yeah.
But when you have Ricochet, you need to have a lot more spots where Ricochet can do his stuff if you're not going to let the other guy who is known for it do it. And he didn't get that much stuff.
No, but spot with the calf crusher.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. When Ricochet got out of it. When Ricochet got out of it, but basically doing the exact same thing that Brock Lesnar did to AJ, which was grab his head. I was like,
yep. Man, it's that adult soothing air that you like so much.
Yes. So that was, I was like, oh, Ricochet scouted AJ and saw that this was a downfall of the Calf Crusher. While at the same time, the Calf Crusher is a very believable,
Finisher.
like you wouldn't
Submission.
think to immediately grab his head because
Yeah.
you're in pain.
Yep.
You're worried about your knee popping out of socket.
Yeah. All right. So next matchup on the card. I don't remember this. After this, outside of a few matches, I have no clue what order they went in.
Bailey versus Ember Moon. The
that's
most
why I don't remember.
forgettable match of the evening at 10 minutes.
We already talked about this one, but yeah, I forgot because I really forgot because I didn't care. So we're just gonna say we've already talked about this matchup, so we're gonna move on.
Yep. Next up is the Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon match at 9 minutes and 20 seconds, which felt longer than it actually was.
Oh yeah, by far.
But it was brilliantly done. I do
Yeah.
like the heel tactics of having a special enforcer come in and
Yep.
Owens being frustrated the entire match. It is weird that he didn't get himself disqualified, even though he jumped at Elias
Yeah.
and
But
knocked him and the ref down, and didn't get disqualified for that.
But not even that. I loved how when he distracted the ref, and then he immediately went over to Shane and hit the low blow.
Low blow. Perfect. It's like, okay,
like-
you're going to cheat? Well, the ref's not looking, and I know it, so...
Well, not even that. It shows that he's still keeping that element from his heel days. Like on occasion, if he had to, he would cheat.
Yeah. Nothing wrong
now
with
he's
it.
Now he's just cheating because he's doing it to a bit. He's doing it. He's getting a pop because it's a heel. He's doing it too.
Yep.
More heel than he is because he's still a heel.
Yes. I mean, good match. I do like to see where this is going to go in the future.
Yeah.
Because having Kevin be, the guy calling out Shane and his ego, basically the Austin to Vince, but done slightly different. Having that happen, I want to see. Basically, I want to see Shane properly lose. Like he is. I want to see Shane in the same way that it, when Vince finally lost to Austin, and then a little while later, they teamed up against The Rock. I want to see that. I want to see Shane be like, oh, I can't beat you. No matter what I do, I can't beat you. And every person that I send after you can't beat you beat them as well. All right, you know what? I give up. I give up. You win. Okay, you win.
I wanted to see when he says I'll give up, I'll quit, but everyone I send after you 1-on-1, you stopped. So I'm gonna throw them all at you at the same time at Survivor Series. My team versus yours. You beat me, I quit.
It's a gauntlet match.
Yeah. No. It's a team versus team.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, yeah. All right.
It's a Survivor Series matchup, and it's just, or you could do the gauntlet match. I think it'd be fun. But yeah. So the next match after this was the Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton match.
Nope. Charlotte Flair versus Trish Stratus.
No, I'm pretty sure this came first. Are you looking at Wikipedia?
Yep.
I swear this came before that one. No, you're right. I think you're right. Okay. I'm thinking something else. There's a match between this and Brock Lesnar. I know it. And I remember which that is. So never mind. You're right. Okay, so here's my problems with this matchup.
With Charlotte and Trish?
Yes. By the way, I was great showing from Trish Stratus.
Oh, yeah.
After not wrestling a singles match in 7 years, though commentary wanted to make you think she hadn't wrestled in 7 years total, but this just goes to show you that Vince thinks his fans are stupid because she literally wrestled last October.
Yes.
With a tag team with Lita. She wrestled on Raw.
I know.
It just goes to show that Vince thinks his fans are stupid. They can't remember almost a year ago that she wrestled.
It's because he doesn't remember.
Yeah, I know. But not just that. So that's one thing. But she had a great showing, especially near the end, because this matchup was basically a televised matchup for the longest time.
Yeah, I do have to say though, seeing Trish put the figure 4 and then doing the figure 8 on Charlotte was awesome. At the same time though, Trish's shoulders were down for an awfully long time, and she should have been pinned.
Yep. So that's that. Like she got her thank you Trish at the end of the match.
Yes.
Signifying this would probably be her last match ever, which if it's fine, it was a good way to go out.
Yeah.
Because at the end, as the match got near the end, it did pick up and bump up to, I wouldn't say a SummerSlam or a Big 5 pay-per-view level match, but definitely in the heyday of good every month pay-per-views.
Yep.
Type matchup. It was definitely better than the matches we were getting lately on pay-per-views. If that's match, if you put that match on at
Stomping
Money
Grounds?
in the Bank, yeah, Stomping Grounds, Money in the Bank, everyone were like, how did we get that when we got all this other shit?
I know.
And we already know it was shit. It would have been worse than shit. That would have been the shit of people the dung beetle that eats shit and then shits. If we got to something like that. So, my biggest problem with this was to set this match up after Charlotte lost to Ember Moon to get to earn the right to challenge Bayley. We got Charlotte burying Ember Moon, saying she's gonna have a match better than Ember.
Yeah. It's like,
great.
You have it's the championship is supposed to be better than everything. Sorry.
Yeah. So that right there, that basically signified, even though Ember went on to win one more match during the week before her downfall, but that was basically the foreshadowing that she's not going into the pay-per-view looking strong. And then this was once again to highlight that regardless of who our champions are and who you want, we're forcing Charlotte down your throats.
At the same time, I really do believe that at this point, the entire Charlotte storyline is a troll on fans who hate seeing Charlotte kind of being shoved in the spotlight. And they're just like, you know what? She's going to be just off to the side, but enough of the spotlight that everyone goes, Charlotte's still in the spotlight, though.
No, and I agree. I think that's what it is, but that's not the storyline we want. And if you want the ratings to go up, constantly doing stuff like this is going to push fans away.
Oh, I know. It's not a good move.
No. I'm not saying she can't be used. I'm saying stop specifically putting her in matches that clearly say, this match was the longest match out of all the women's matches.
Yeah.
And it could have been half that. And actually, I would have preferred Becky Lynch and Natalya to go a little bit longer on how good it was.
That would have been great.
But you're putting her in matches to put her over as she's more important than even our women's championships right now. Even though she doesn't have the championship, the champions are important when she holds one, but when she doesn't hold it, it's not important. Kind of like the Triple H effect during the Ruthless Aggression era. If he was a champion, it was kind of made you feel like the belt wasn't that important. Triple H was important.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest problem. Especially what happened on Raw. I actually was going to bring up what happened on Raw with Becky Lynch, but I forgot. So we're going to bring it up here.
Okay.
We have Sasha finally returning.
Yes.
Now, the rumor was back in June they had worked things out between Vince and her. That she would come back, but she wasn't coming back immediately. She was going to come back around this time frame. I was kind of hoping it would have been at SummerSlam. And it could have been, you could have kept the babyface reaction, because you get the babyface reaction that night and saying hey Becky, I've been listening to your Twitter, you're ranting about me on Twitter, and coming back and face you while I'm here. how about we go around while I'm here? And it's just like okay, we're getting this. And you keep Sasha as the baby face
No.
for SummerSlam. So you get that pop. Is you still do the heel turn on Raw.
Oh, okay.
We're still getting heel Sasha, but you do the heel turn on Raw. And you instead of doing a contract signing the week before the pay-per-view, you do that on Monday. And then
4 weeks before.
yeah. So we're getting that at Clash of Champions. And what happens is you don't have the heel turn at the contract signing. No. Because that would go ahead and pop from her. You put her in there. You get the heel turn. You have Bayley come out during that and saying, "Well, if you're going to be challenging her, how about you prove it? You're worthy." Yeah, we have a little go because you kind of left me hanging after we lost the tag titles. And then you have her turn heel on Bayley.
Yeah. Okay.
And then instead of Natalia, which no one really cared about, we got the pop.
It didn't make really any sense because I never truly saw Natalia and Sasha Banks as being friendly backstage at all.
Because again, if you did, look what she did when Sasha came back. She came out. She hugged those two fans. Imagine she did that before her match with Bayley. Imagine if those were Bayley fans.
Imagine if one of them was Izzy.
Yeah. And then
Like
you have this match.
because
and then
isn't
she
it Sasha
turns
Banks
on-
that took Izzy's headband?
Yep.
So
Yes, it
Sasha
is.
comes out and she gives Izzy a big hug as well. Comes into the ring, shakes Bayley's hand it's like all right, we got to work this out, but we still know we're sisters, and then turn on her in the ring,
Yeah. And
and then
do it
take
post-
Izzy's headband again.
Yeah, you do it post-match.
Yes.
Where it's like, okay, Bailey, okay, you beat me. Good there. They shake hands. They even hug and everything. Bailey turns around and like they were holding hands, and then Becky turns around for back to her, and then she hits the bank statement, locks it in. Becky's on commentary. She comes in, ready to fight, and it gets a few blows on her, but Sasha comes back with like a
Gets
cheap
the
shot.
chair.
And then she goes on town. You'll still get some of those pops because we're getting a different looking at the band. We're finally getting what we want, a heel Sasha. But then you do
Truly
the same
heel
thing.
Sasha.
Yeah. And then when she leaves, she grabs the headband of one of the Bayley fans and puts it on and mocks her again, like she did in NXT, and throws it away. And bam.
There we go.
But I will say this: I am glad that Sasha's back because Becky needs someone to fight against.
Yeah,
Bayley
nobody else
needs-
on the roster after Sunday night, nobody else on the women's roster right now seemed like they could challenge Becky for the championship.
Yeah. Bayley the same way, too.
Yeah. And with Sasha back in again, it's just like, okay, now we've got the challenger here that can go after this.
Yeah. Bayley's still in that area where she needs a actual challenger, too.
She needs an actual challenger to beat to solidify her championship.
Yeah. Where this is where I kind of hope I feel like this could be a predictable outcome,
Yeah.
maybe they'll do the loss. Sasha takes the loss at Clash of Champions because she purposely gets herself disqualified.
Yeah.
To send a message versus I'm gonna get disqualified, beat the hell out of you.
Sometimes you know what? Sometimes it's not a win. It's not about wins and losses. It's about sending a message.
Yeah, because after I beat the hell out of you, I know I can get you to give me a rematch, and that's when I take the belt off of you.
Right.
But I have a feeling we'll get the title change at Clash of Champions, which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
Regardless. Whatever we get is if we get the Sasha sending a message to Becky, or we get her actually winning the belt, I'm fine. All I care about is we better not get the Charlotte Sasha thing where they interchange the belt.
Yeah, I don't want to see that again.
Because as heel Sasha as a champion, all these other people who weren't worthy enough to go against Becky, and we just knew it. You can throw them at Sasha. We know she's going to defend the title against them, but she can just keep getting heat for beating them up and destroying them after the match, after she won, and you build back up to whoever else would it be, which at this time, again, who would it be? The only other person I could think of you eventually build to take the belt off of Sasha is Bayley.
Yeah.
But, so, again, we'll eventually be in the same situation. Who takes the belt off of Sasha? Can't be Charlotte because, well, she's healed too. We don't
Bayley
want her to
would be the
babyface.
best one, really.
Yeah. So, but yeah. But it just goes to show you with Charlotte and now with Sasha coming back, there aren't all the other women outside of Alexa Bliss, but she's in the tag division right now.
Exactly.
I think it's a good place for her. You don't really have anyone to really be contenders for this.
Yep.
And they're not doing a very good job of building up all these other women to be legit contenders. And look at Lacey Evans. She is on main event now. After months of being pushed so she could have this feud with Becky, and she's now on main event.
Yeah.
So, all right, so our next matchup is, to me, the match of the night, even though it was very, very short.
No, you're still skipping a match.
Oh, you're right. I'm going... Because you can tell how interesting I am in the Kofi Kingston Randy Orton match.
It was okay. It was a lot better than what anyone gives it credit for because the ending was so bad.
Yeah.
The match was good. The match was good, was above average prior to that.
Yes, it was. But it was, again, I was hoping we'd get a little bit more excited Randy Orton in this matchup.
Yeah, right.
I know. But he's basically at the point in his career in the WWE, he's just phoning it in because
I think he's been there for almost 10 years though.
Longer.
Yeah. He
almost
phones
been a
it in
decade.
for so long.
But I mean, like, at this point, like, I think he's so frustrated with the WWE type style matchup that what he can't do anymore in the ring, like his punk kick and all that.
Oh yeah.
He's basically said, I have a big enough name here where they're going to use me, but I'm going to phone these matches in. But I kind of hope that when his contract is up, that he would go to like New Japan or AEW to see if we can get, see if we actually would get.
See what kind of matches we can get from him.
Yeah,
It'd be
see if
cool.
we actually get those more aggressive style matches that we got when he was, the Viper.
Yeah.
Because those matches were exciting. Yes, he was still meticulous, and he would slow the pace down a lot at times, but he was still entertaining.
Yes.
He's not entertaining.
No. But yeah, the double count out at the end of this match.
It was a 3 count.
It was really short because we had the spot where Randy is leaning over Kofi, mocking Kofi's family, who's right there.
Yeah.
And then then Kofi turns around and gets angry because it's like, okay, no, the story is that Randy is mocking the family. Kofi needs to come back and defend his family. It's like, okay, cool. Well, and then it's just like, and double count out. And I was like, wait, what? It kind of felt like that was supposed to be the midpoint of the match. It was then going to be Kofi taking over the pace of the match from then on and getting the win. And we got a double count out?
It was like they were just out there they were only out there, and how WWE does their counts, a 3 count.
Yeah.
A 7 count if they were doing a traditional 20 count, like New Japan.
Yeah.
Because you're actually, but no, it was a WWE. It was 3 count. I looked over and I'm like, they're just out there, and the next thing I know, I hear the bell ring. Like, what happened? I'm like, did somebody get disqualified? A count out? I'm like, what the fuck?
I actually at first thought, because I had done the same thing, I literally turned away from the screen for just a second, and I hear the bell ring, and I'm like, did Kofi grab a weapon? Like, did he just grab a chair and hit Randy because he was mocking him in front of the family? I'm like, I would expect that. Then it's like, no, double count out. And then the crowd turned.
Yep.
Like that right then and there, you hear the crowd loud and clear. This is bullshit.
Yep. Not to mention that the fans were trolling Kofi in this one. I will give them props for how they did it. It wasn't like the "Let's go Kofi, Kofi sucks" or something.
Nope.
It was like Kofi suck, like "Let's go Kofi, Kofi stupid." Like they pulled the line that Randy Orton said in the promo package, and they adapted it into the chant. And I was like, at least you guys were you picked up on a nice little thing that they kind of played over in the promo constantly, and they're like, we're gonna use that. They're not gonna chant. We're not Randy Orton. We're just gonna troll Kofi.
Yeah, it really the entire time it was just the crowd either yelling at Kofi or yelling for Kofi, and Randy just happened to be. It was like the Becky and Natalya match early in the evening. Like you could have replaced Natalya with anybody, and the crowd would have reacted only towards Becky. This only towards Kofi. Randy could have just sat on the sidelines and done nothing, and been like, "Oh, they're not going to say anything to me." So, all right.
Yeah. Whereas in the Becky match, they were absolutely trolling Becky there. There were times when they were chanting, to me, it sounded like they were absolutely just against Kofi here, too.
Yeah.
Not all the times they were trolling him, but there were a few times where it was like, oh, that sounds like a menacing tone to it, versus no, we're obviously just trolling. We're not interested in this match anymore, so we're trolling. We're not going to troll Randy because that's what he would want. We're going to troll Kofi. Ignore Randy.
They were interested in the match. I do have to say that. Like, the crowd was reacting to the spots as a crowd would react to spots.
And then I wasn't paying it. This just to show you, if you think that, I was clearly not paying enough attention to me, because to me, every time I looked over, I would watch for a few like about 30 seconds, and I'm just like,
oh, I'm not saying that there was a lot of spots to be paying attention to. Like, the spots that they were supposed to react at, they did react.
Okay, because then I just was not looking over at those times, because every time I did it, it was not.
Oh, I'm talking the overall, the night, not just the match.
Oh, yeah, I know. The same, too. All right, so the next matchup of this was the match of the night.
Honestly, this was the entrance of the evening and the squash match of the night.
Not just that, like, let me just put it this way, as Wrestle Talk was saying, this was bloody as perfect you could possibly get with a re-debut of a character.
Oh, yeah.
When I saw the severed head of Bray Wyatt is now the Lantern, I was like, oh my god, that's awesome. I'm like, and kind of surprised that the WWE would let him do that.
See, well, I laugh about that because when WWE, by Monday afternoon, Monday evening, they had already uploaded an edited version of the entrance where they had the join the WWE Network banner over the lantern the entire entrance. And then they cut away, like he set it up. They cut away before the camera followed and like the camera went onto the lantern for a bit. I was like, oh, that's crap. You just someone at Snickers went, that's not very kid friendly now.
Yeah.
It was like, come on.
That's sort of the rumors are. Did they Bray push it too far? Are they going to censor him? We now know for a fact that the head lantern is sticking around.
Yes.
For the
there was
being.
enough of a fan reaction to it that it overrode what the advertisers' reaction to it was.
And it's like, WWE said like, I know you say this isn't kid friendly and you don't want us to do it anymore, but here's what the fans are saying about us not doing that anymore.
This character is not supposed to be kid friendly. This is a horror monster. The Fiend is a horror movie monster.
Yep. And then so if we don't go with this, they're gonna backlash, and it could actually hurt. It's gonna hurt us, but it's also because you're our sponsor, one of our sponsors, could end up hurting you because our ratings are gonna go down.
Yeah.
And they probably went like, your ratings are already going down. We don't need them to go down enough. Go. Just limit it. Don't use it. Just keep it simple. Don't use it all the time or some price.
Oh, no. I don't want to see I don't want to see the Fiend coming out every single week.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel that the Fiend can be used in the same way that the Undertaker was used, where
No.
the Undertaker is always this monster. The Fiend is a branch of Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
He's the least controlled branch of Bray Wyatt. Sister
Yeah.
Abigail? Now Sister Abigail's just a puppet that he plays with. Husky Harris? Just a puppet he plays with. So, like, but the Fiend is one that even kind of scares Bray a little bit. And he's like, ooh, this guy might get out too often. I got to keep him in check.
Just so you know, Bray told us about the Fiend back in 2015.
Really? Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did.
In a promo on WWE.com, he told a story about a 7-foot blonde guy wearing a ring, basically describing his mask, and all that. It basically is it was basically the story of him being telling the possession of how he was possessed by the Fiend as a little kid.
That's cool.
So, like, he had this planned for at some point. Like, I'm pretty sure when he went back to NXT and he came up with the Bray Wyatt character, he basically, when he started figuring out how he wanted to do this and got the character down, he really understood how to do a character. Because Husky Harris, he did not know how to do a character.
No.
He really understood how to do it. He started planning out not just what he was going to do for the next several years, like the next few years with the Wyatt family and thing. He was thinking long term.
Oh yeah, he was just like, what kind of crazy stuff could this guy be?
What can I do with this? And how he came up. So that's what I think happened. But yeah, this was the entrance of the night and the squash of it. And here's the best part. People were saying like, well, Finn got squashed, so it hurts him. Actually, it didn't. This actually helped Finn in the long term because it allowed the Fiend to get what he needed to squash. He had to squash someone.
Yes.
And the way Finn has been booked since for a while, it fit perfectly. He got just dominating the game. He got a little momentum coming back, and then Bray got the out of nowhere mandible claw as he came down for the coup de grace, and this held him down.
Yes.
He wasn't just holding him down, but he's like his hand when he's shoving it into his mouth is clearly he's shoving it and holding it into there.
I mean, you could have actually counted a pinfall there.
Yeah. And Vin sold it perfectly.
Yes.
And it is like it came up, and the fact that there were spots in there where the Fiend was struggling to whether to keep the mask on. Like he was thinking about it, to take the mask on or off, like fighting with his counterpart. In his debut, most people would say, "No, you do that months and months, even years later. You start doing that." No. That's why he's flipping that trope on his head right now. He has a dual identity. No, the Fiend's not fully into control yet.
No, Bray Wyatt is still in control right now.
There's Bray's fighting that, ooh, gosh, goody, gee, wowie type character that he for Bray Wyatt's Funhouse is still there. It's still forefront. Oh, and by the way, I don't want the Mandible Claw to be his finisher.
Yes, I do.
And no, there's a better move that he did.
Oh, really? There's a better move.
Yeah. I mean, I do like how he did it because I never would have been a fan of the Mandible Claw. But the way he did it here, if he keeps doing that, I'm fine with it. But there's a better move that he did that should truly be his finisher.
What?
And that's when he broke Finn's neck.
Oh, yeah.
That should just be his finisher.
By the way, it's absolutely because of Bray's dreads. It sells it a little bit more because he whips them around, and you're like the amount of motion that's going on at the time, and with him being so much bigger than Finn, it was just like, oh my god. I do SummerSlam, where you come to fight and possibly kill your opponents.
Because when I saw that, I was like, oh my god. At one point, because I was watching this, I'm like, I have to see what Wrestle Talk is saying about this because they were doing live stream reactions.
Oh yeah.
To it, so I had because I had the show on my laptop monitor because I was working on my desktop monitor. So I brought it up. There was a lag between what was going on in the show and what they were reaction cut to, because I don't know why, because I wasn't live with them or something, because they were like, the match was already over and they were still part of the match.
There were a lot of issues with the network stream that night.
I was live at the time. I was completely live. The whole show.
I had to reset mine quite often and or click the live button because mine would just straight up stop.
I didn't have that problem at all. I'd say it's because they're in Britain, but the speed of light would limit the reaction to the point where we still wouldn't notice it.
No, I actually heard about there were a number of people whose streams were breaking up and stopping and freezing.
That's possible. But watching their reaction to this, to the Fiend, was hilarious. Because I came in and I'm waiting to see what they would say about the neck. I watched him he broke his neck.
Yeah.
The match is over. Finn's dead.
Finn's dead. That happened.
Just pin him. So when I watched it, I'm they're talking and they're excited this entire time. But then I saw Owen, what's his name? Luke.
Yeah.
Luke. And he's watching and he's like, he just killed him. That could be his finisher. That could be his finisher. It's and when the match ended, Luke looks to the camera and he's like, "That was bloody perfect. You couldn't do any better."
I feel that yes, the neck snap should be on the weaker opponents. It should be the finisher.
Yeah.
Much in the same way that you have. Marty Scurll breaking people's fingers. It doesn't actually break it, but you look at it, you go, oh, and you react to it. That should be his thing, where he just snaps their neck, and they go down, and he gets the 3-count pin off that. Yeah. Where you're like, it just discombobulates them so much that they're passed out, and then they have to be helped to the back.
And next time we see him on TV, they need a neck brace on.
On a bigger opponents, say on a Roman Reigns or a John Cena or the Undertaker, the mandible claw is brought out right after it. It's just you snap it, you hit them with a Sister Abigail, you do the neck snap, and then on the bigger guys, you go to the mandible claw right after that, because you're just now deal with this third bit.
I still kind of hope Sister Abigail is one of his finishers, because it's just a great finisher. Because I feel like he could still use the Sister Abigail as a finisher, because the rest of his movesets against Finn, there was enough difference between the Fiend and Bray's moveset that he could keep the finisher. But I understand, but the way he did the mandible claw on Finn, even when he attacked Foley, he's doing it enough where it looks like he's actually doing something with it. Whereas when McFoley, especially with Sacco, which I thought is the only acceptable way to do it outside of it because it was so funny.
Yeah.
They're like...
sometimes you barely got a couple of fingers just barely grabbing the front of the jaw. Other times it looked like Mick Foley was trying to smother them with a sock on his hand. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know what you're doing here.
Other times he's just sticking his hand in their mouth with a sock that was in his crotch first.
But this looks like he's actually applying a press hold to the jaw at the same time holding down the head to the mat.
Also, because as they described when Mankind first did the mandible claw, he's hitting that pressure point under the tongue.
Actually, it's totally true. If you can do that and grab somebody, and it's actually more your thumb than your fingers.
Yeah, it's here. It's underneath your jaw.
They can't move the jaw.
Not just that. That too. But if you do, you can just use your thumb and push there. So if you ever get in a headlock, people, take your thumb, if you put it right underneath their chin and push enough pressure, they'll and you move your hand away, they'll have to go with it and they'll release you from the headlock.
Right. It's a
Instantly.
weird thing. Like, it doesn't you don't need much pressure. Just under the jaw, just past the front of the jaw towards the underneath the tongue. Immediately somebody will move their head away.
It can be a little bit harder to find it at times. So the best way to do it is really to do it under the nose.
Yes.
That where the middle of the nostril, between the nostrils, right there. Just do it. Put your thumb there and put a little pressure. You'll feel it instantly. You put that there, you do it. It's even faster. You don't have to find anything. It's right there.
There is a downfall. If somebody's nose has been broken that way before.
Yes.
Then they're just like, yeah, it doesn't affect me anymore.
No, it still affects you because because the cartilage is touching a pressure point there. It may not be as effective if they've broken their nose, but sometimes it's still there. Maybe if you've broken a nose, if they haven't fixed the nose, it's still kind of like crooked or something like that. But if you fixed it, if you've corrected it and all that, it's still there because it's technically a pressure point. Because actually, if you feel it right there, it's literally where the top of your gum meets the top of your lip of the skin.
Yeah.
And the nose right there, and it's if you push there, you can kind of feel some teeth. But you can also feel there, and it just feels really uncomfortable.
Okay.
But it feels like when Bray does it, it looks like he's trying to shove down, keeping the story of there's a pressure point inside the mouth, not under the mouth. Type thing. Like he's really jamming his fingers down on that. So, and then we have the match. That's not the match of the night, but we have the shock of the night, but not the shock of the night.
No, it really wasn't that much of a shock.
No.
I mean, now the cool thing about this match is Seth Rollins came into the match being booed.
Yep.
And walked out being cheered.
I have a theory about that, and I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
And kudos to Brock Lesnar for once again going and actually having a match with a smaller guy. Whatever the reason why he was in a piss-ass mood at WrestleMania, where he demanded to go on last, and then refusing to, if he's not going to go on last, he's going to go on first and all that. And then I think at that point, the matches that they had, that was a Vince McMahon saying Brock was just going to beat up Seth, and then Seth was going to cheat to get the win, because he was like, no, a smaller guy would not be able to beat Brock Lesnar. We're going this way, because he's already pissed at Brock.
Yeah.
But he still kind of wanted to maintain the myth of him to a point. But this matchup, we got what we needed, what we wanted. Brock came in, he dominated Seth for a little bit. Seth fought back, got a few stomps off right off the bat, but couldn't get the pinfall. And then Brock did the fling of the night.
The fling of the night?
When he grabbed Seth by his bandages, lifted him up, and swung him around and tossed him.
Yes.
That I want more people to go against Brock Lesnar with their ribs taped up so he can do that. Screw Suplex City. That's his new move. But then Seth came back, got multiple stomps on him, and won clean.
Yes.
So now this is what should have happened at WrestleMania. It would have gotten his Seth Rollins Universal title reign off to a great start. Though where they went, I don't know if it would have helped, because once you could put Baron Corbin in there, it would have immediately had the same effect that we had already. But this at least gets Seth's second reign off to a good start. But like you said, Seth was cheered by the end. I'm not convinced that the cheers were for Seth. I think the cheers was for Brock not retaining here. Because when he came in, like you said, when they came in, Brock was being was more interested in Brock. And you know that crowd did not want him retaining. They would rather cheer Brock than Seth. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. I'm hoping this will be a good start over for Seth. At the babyface, they'll push him strong. give him strong contenders for the belt. And he stays off of Twitter and not do what he's doing. Because the first time he opens his mouth on Twitter again, like he has been, done. The fans are going to boo him.
Yeah.
Oh, good. You actually spoke. I wasn't sure if you were going to say anything because you're just looking straight down. Not.
I don't know what you're talking
I'm
about.
saying.
Sorry. I got caught up on Facebook for a second there, okay?
All right. But yeah, so we got a new Universal champion. So.
Look.
But you won. This is the one match.
Well,
the one match that we disagreed on that I actually got right.
I know.
So
I'm looking at the time and how much we have done in this one show, and I know it's going to take you more than just 20 minutes to go over NXT.
no, I actually don't have that much. I have a few certain spots to talk about. It won't take that long.
Okay.
But so Adam, have you finished this SummerFest yet?
No.
Based on what you saw, what would you give it?
I mean, I missed 2 matches.
So yeah, and that's what I'm saying, because if you missed 2 matches, what would you give it?
I don't know. It's above a 3. I'm going to give it a 3.25, really.
Wow.
Like it's 3 is your solid bar of this is a good show or a bad show. This hit that and just barely went over that.
I see. I'm going below it. I'm going to 2.25 because while this was done, did come off better, but I'm telling you, the predictability is a high thing for me right now. With this whole relaunch stuff that they're trying to get the fans back in, what made the Attitude Era so... One of the things was the unpredictability. You didn't know who was going to win matches half the time.
True.
Most of the time they would end in a run-in, but you didn't know how it was going to end.
Yeah.
And this was so predictable. The 2 matches I got wrong was because I booked how I wanted them to be booked, not how they were going to end up. So I'm going to give that hit. And also some of these matches were not what I wanted out of the match. No. So I'm taking a hit. So I'm going to give it a 2.25 stars.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to Takeover.
Where we did not predict things correctly at all.
No, we did not do well here. We have 5 matches, so that's going to be about 30 minutes apiece. No.
We do not have that much time. You have under 17 minutes now.
Yeah, this is going to take a lot longer than that. No, it won't. Because I don't have that much to say about these things. I will say this, Adam, if we went to a draw, you would have won.
Yes.
Because you got the Undisputed Era not walking out with all the gold, correct?
I know.
And your match for the final fall for the NXT Championship was the closest.
Steel cage.
Part of me wanted to deny you that because it wasn't a straight up steel cage match. It had weapons and all that stuff. But I'm like, it's based on the steel cage. It's a steel cage with other stuff added onto it.
That's all it is.
If it had a roof on it, I would have said no.
Right.
You lost. But because it did, I gave it to you. And also, in the end, I won anyway, so I didn't care. But, all right. So, okay. Worst match of the night for TakeOver.
In reality, the worst match that I watched was Shayna Baszler versus Mia Kim.
Yep. The story there's an interesting story going into it. Mia's not over enough with the NXT universe. And it literally comes down to what Shayna Baszler said in the promo. I got my job because of my skills. She got hers because a bunch of people chanted her name.
Yeah. I mean, Io Shirai is really cool. She really shouldn't have been in that position.
You're completely
sorry. Mia Kim.
I was going to say, you take that back about Io Shirai.
Gail Kim should be in this position right now.
Yeah. Gail Kim, you mean Mae Young?
Mae Young.
Mia Yim. 'Cause
That's how. Okay. That is the most unintentional screw up on somebody who's supposed to be, kind of the forgettable character in NXT.
but
I purposely said Gail Kim.
yeah,
But you were like, Mae Young. Really? Mae Young?
I know. But she would fit better in this situation than Mia Yim.
Probably.
And this is not taking anything against Mia Yim. I've seen some of her indie work. She's in what she's done on the Mia Young Classics. She's a solid worker, but
Yeah.
they literally started building her up for this after last month's takeover, and they were using her and getting some wins before that, but it was sporadic. This
Right.
really kind of pushed for it, and it made me wonder if they were using Mia Yim as a placeholder, as in we're gonna build her up so to the point where if we do a title change, it'll make sense, but depending on when Dakota Kai comes back, because she's the perfect person to take the belt off of Shayna Baszler. She's literally had a feud with her going since Shayna Baszler came up. She was basically overmatched and outpowered by Shayna Baszler from the get-go, and slowly she's kind of had some showdowns where she had better offense against her, but still coming up short. But it was building towards her saying, no, she's finally got to that point where she can beat Shayna.
Yeah.
Then she tore her ACL in December and had to have surgery.
Yeah, that happened.
So I think that they knew she was possibly ready to come back soon, which she had showing off some ring gear on Instagram. So this was kind of a placeholder. Well, will she be ready that we could pump her in at some point where Dakota Kai can now come back and actually win the NXT Championship from Shayna? Who knows? But yeah, this was the last few matches for Shayna were not the best. The one with Io Shirai in the cage was awesome from what I've been told. I haven't seen it yet.
It was good.
The TakeOver match wasn't what I wanted from it, but it was better than what we had at TakeOver at WrestleMania, what we had at Royal Rumble. So there. Best match of the night.
See, the one that I want to say is Cole and Gargano.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But the one that kind of stole it for me was Dream, Dunn, and Strong.
I can definitely see that. It's not the one that, to me, stole it. And I have reasons, but it's neck and neck.
Yeah.
Because
it's one of those that I could flip a coin right now,
Yeah.
and one of them, whoever got heads for it, would be the match of the night for me, and the other one would be number 2.
So Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano is number 3 on my list for one reason and one reason only. I know it became predictable on not necessarily who was going to win, because I didn't know. I was rooting for Cole, and they had those moments where, is Cole going to win?
Yeah.
Is Johnny going to win? But I know I'm going to get that element. So we've got it so much with Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, and then other matches. It's gotten to the point with Johnny Gargano. It's part of his type of match you get at a takeover with him. Where it kind of brings me down out of how good it is. So to me, it's just there. The match of the night for me was the Candice LeRae and Io Shirai, because the first part of that matchup was a television matchup.
Yes.
And we're talking about an NXT television matchup, which is a better match than a TV match for the main roster. So you're saying a TV matchup isn't an insult like it is on the main roster.
No.
But then they kicked it into a higher gear and made it a takeover, not just a takeover matchup, a great takeover matchup.
A memorable takeover matchup.
Like, I hate the whole kicking out of everyone's finisher move, but what we got after Candice LeRae kicked out of the moonsault,
Yes.
and she went freaky and did that reverse Coquina clutch type submission, was perfect. It was almost okay with it because we got that.
Yes.
We get that violent and angry Io Shirai. But it's just something about that match. I can't even really put my finger on it. That just it outshone the other matches because I think it was because it's a second women's match we don't get on takeovers that much anymore since Asuka. Before Asuka won Asuka winning the NXT Women's Championship, that's when we got the extra women's match on takeovers. We haven't had that since she won the title, and then she left. So but then it was an awesome match. And then I think what really solidified it, part of it was, then we got the Shayna Baszler and Mia Yim match, which was so underwhelming. That just showed you how amazing both Candice LeRae is and Io Shirai. And I expected what we got from Velveteen Dream, Pete Dunne, and Roderick Strong. I expected the stuff from Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano. I expected the stuff we got from the Street Profits. Actually, the Street Profits were a little bit more surprising. A little bit more.
That was a lot. But that was a surprisingly better match than because I kind of thought it was going to end up being a by the numbers, Undisputed Era win.
Yeah.
And then we got a Street Profits win, and I was like, wait, sorry, what?
Yeah. I expected it to be a better match, a good matchup for the Street Profits. But again, there was stuff in there that I was like, wow, okay. Which made sense because I still was convinced the entire matchup, they're dropping the belts. Nowhere in that matchup was I convinced they were winning. Which, when they got the win, it was like, fuck.
Oh,
that goes my theory.
They won. Okay.
That just screwed over my theory of Undisputed Era walking out with all the gold. And Triple H saying, oh, we got a chance to do the first ever 3-time champions? Let's do it. Moment.
Yeah.
Because I think he's saving that for later now.
Probably.
But yeah, so that's there, and it was done so well. Velveteen Dream and Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong, great matchup. And how Velveteen Dream was handled here is how he needs to be handled going forward.
I really like the fact that he was the one, he waited off to the side for Roderick Strong to take down Pete Dunne. And then just slid in and was like, nope, I'm taking this pin from you. Have fun.
Because what sold Velveteen Dream when he first came in, he was a heel.
Yeah.
And no one really liked him because no one thought they knew who he was, Patrick from Tough Enough and all that. It was nice to see a character out of him, but we didn't think he was going to be that good in the ring. And the few matches we saw going forward on NXT wasn't that good. And then he had his feud with Aleister Black, who basically made us show that, I think it was mostly Aleister Black at that point, but it showed us something from Velveteen Dream. And then he consistently had these great stand-up matches where he was still a heel. But then lately he started transitioning into the babyface role, which worked because we were cheering for him. We wanted that.
Yeah.
But his character feels like a better, he's almost like a perfect tweener. He's gonna do that heel tactic where he's gonna go after the babyface at times if he thinks that's the bigger threat over the heel. So that's what I think they need to go forward with that. I do eventually want a full-on heel turn from Velveteen Dream, but not yet. I want a heel turn. I want a heel Velveteen Dream when he wins the NXT Championship. That's what I want. And then Street Profits. The big thing about the Street Profits matchup was that they retained, which is good because it did give them that before they dropped the belts, give them that takeover win instead of just having them dominate on NXT TV and then drop the belts into their first big defense.
Yeah.
And then Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano. So happy to have the 2 out of 3 falls, different stipulations, finally return. Because I always loved that. My biggest problem with it was when they used it a lot back in the Ruthless Aggression era, was when you had a 2 out of 3 falls, it always was that. And some of the feuds didn't need that level. So I think they actually called that the 2 out of 3 falls or something with hell in it was what they eventually called it during that.
Okay.
I have to look it up, but there was a term like in the old video games when you could do that, you could have that matchup. It was called something with hell.
Yeah.
I just can't think of it off the top of my head. But I'm glad it returned, and I actually was predicting when I was watching this matchup. I was predicting Gargano winning the traditional match and Cole winning the hardcore match. And nope, they stuck with what they wanted. But
they did it brilliantly though. That
I
Gargano
did.
just was like, all right, I'm gonna try to wrestle you for. You know what? No, I'm done trying to wrestle you. I'm just gonna hit you with a chair, get the DQ, get that over with, and get on to the street fight.
Yep.
I love the fact that he hits him with the chair, sets the chair up, and just sits there. I was half expecting for him to start patting himself on the back like Gargano, like a Ciampa.
Yeah.
Because he did the clap for a little bit, and I was like, oh, is he gonna pat himself on the back after that one? Please tell me. Please do it. Please do it.
And I loved it because when he sat down in the chair, normally you go right into the next fall, 2 out of 3 falls on a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
There's no waiting. It's only in the new outside of WWE you had that break. 2 out of 3 falls, but they had that break because they had to have the announcement, and as soon as that the announcer said it is now on hardcore, or Extreme Rules match or something, whatever.
A street fight or whatever they were calling it.
Yeah, he immediately gets up and grabs it, and as basically the bell's ringing, he clacks on the chair over Adam Cole. It's like ding, bang, like
he was just like, timing. No, this is what I was waiting for. Now I'm gonna just hurt him.
And he beats Adam Cole around the arena, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And then brings it back in the ring. Adam Cole gets a little bit of offense in there, but we get Adam Cole thrown into the chair. Gargano then locks in the Gargano escape and gets the tap out victory. And then we're now into the hell, the cage match, which went another 40 minutes.
Yeah,
another 30 minutes or something like that. This was just over. The whole entire match was just over an hour by a minute.
Actually, from bell to bell, 46 minutes.
Oh, okay. I thought for some reason I saw an hour, but maybe I was thinking else.
Including, from when the entrances started to the end of the show was probably an hour.
Maybe, I don't know. I think I'm thinking of something else I looked at. It was an hour for a match length. I don't know. But yeah, this was almost a full-on hour. And the final fall was the longest fall.
Oh, and that final spot was just... It's also a brilliant... Because, I saw them both fall, and I was like, Johnny's going to just roll over on top of Cole. And all I see is Cole roll over on top of Johnny. And I was like, you know what? Worth it. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Because that was that moment where any person could have rolled over to get the pin. Yeah.
And I was wondering about that. I was like, are we gonna get one of those typical they're gonna beat each other so bad that it's gonna be a big spot, but not a huge spot where the winner is just gonna roll over? And I was like, I don't want that. But then we got that big spot.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm okay with that.
I felt the same way. I had one other idea that was going to happen right there, is that neither man was going to respond, and the ref have to go, I have to call this match now. Neither man can respond. This has to be they're both disqualified. This is a draw match now.
I have to say, I think one of the reasons why I liked it so much was the fact that Gargano was climbing up the cage with barbed wire in his hand.
Yeah.
That he clipped off. But boy, they almost overshot the tables when they came down.
I know.
Because they were supposed to go through both of them, and they didn't.
They only hit the far table.
Yeah. I think both tables break because I think when they came down, they hit the furthest one first, and then their legs came down hard enough where it was enough to do some damage to it, so it looked like it broke, but not a full-on break. I don't remember though.
I don't remember either.
Maybe it just knocked it. I think it knocked the table off its legs towards them.
Oh, okay.
That's what I think happened. But it was a great. I hate those kind of finishes, but at the same time, it worked. Yeah. Mostly because my guy won. If Johnny did it, I would have probably not liked it as much. It
also allows for Johnny to have the claim that, look, either one of us going back and watching that, either one of us could have just could have gotten that pin. That's not a true win for either one of us.
So here's the thing. After NXT went off the air, Johnny got a thank you, Johnny.
Yes, he did.
William Regal came out and had like an emotional like there. So it's basically kind of feeling this could be a send off for Johnny Gargano. We don't know for a fact yet because right now, as we're recording this on Thursday, the NXT tapings are going live right now at Full Sail here.
Yeah.
Which I could have actually gone to now, but I didn't get tickets because my class is at 5. But of course, yesterday my professor decided we're going from 1 to 5. That's okay. I'm so busy right now with stuff that I don't. I can't give up the time to go and spend like 4 hours there. Which was the thing. If the rumors are true, this could be the last takeovers at Full Sail. Because they go to Fox FS1 to compete with AEW. The rumor is that they don't think a tape show will help, so they're gonna go live. So unless they're gonna come to Full Sail and do live show, which I think would work.
Okay, I mean, yeah, but
I want to know. I want to be a fly on the wall in WWE right now to find out what Triple H truly thinks of this idea, because the rumors are going on. If they do this FS1 to compete with AEW, is going to go to 2 hours, a live show, and use main roster talent on there to hype up the ratings, and that's just gonna fuck over what NXT is. You're gonna piss off the NXT fans.
All you're kind of doing then is recreating the WWE CW.
Yeah, but here's the thing: when you start bringing main talent, because the idea would be to use a lot more main roster talent to hype up the ratings. But here's the thing, though: the people who are watching it on the network will stop watching it because they like that as an indie show. The first few, first few big matches that you get, like maybe if you get the Adam Cole versus Daniel Bryan, first off, may drive it a little bit. But the hardcore NXT fans are like, no, we don't want this.
Yeah.
We want NXT to stay as it was. Not necessarily not that they're on TV, they'll rally against. It's the fact that they're purposely going against. They're trying to do this to go against AEW. And those fans of NXT, guess where they're going to go? They're going to go make sure they watch AEW. Well, they're not going to go and watch AEW. They're going to be watching AEW live on TV because they can always come back. You know, if it's not on, if they don't put it on the network, they'll just find it on the internet later.
Yep.
Because those fans who are NXT fans are hardcore. A lot of them are hardcore wrestling fans, and they're going to go to AEW on Wednesday nights because they want it to succeed.
Yeah.
And I think Vince is gonna be like, well, we'll get a bunch of our casual fans from the main roster to watch NXT. No, you won't.
No. Anyway,
all right.
That was
my spiel on that one and what's going on there. Ladies and gentlemen, let us know what you thought of our predictions. Adam,
yes.
Star rating for Takeover.
Oh, star rating? Actually, I'm giving it a 4.2.
Okay. I can actually. I'm gonna give it a 4 1/3. Because I can't justify a 4 1/4, but I can justify it at 4 1/2 stars. Because and it literally comes down to Shayna Baszler's matchup.
Yeah,
that's what brings it down. I could easily give this show, if you had a better opponent in there with Shayna and you had a little bit better match with Shayna, I could easily give this card a 5-star rating.
Okay.
But because of that, I just can't get down to that a quarter star yet. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let us know what your rating of SummerSlam. I mean, my bad. I almost got it wrong. Summerfest.
Yeah.
And Takeover. If you watched the Summer Super Show for Ring of Honor, let us know what you thought of that one. As well as you were watching the G1 block finals and the finals. Let us know what you're down in the comment section. On your way down there, go ahead and give us a thumbs up because you've been listening to us for a very long time. And we all know listening to Adam is not easy. Since you're right there, go ahead and give us a hit that subscribe button.
Ding.
Ring the bell.
Ding, ding.
And get bent.
Heck yeah.